my dear friends of Inner Wheel Club of Bhubaneswar. We are at the end of this year's tenure under the able leadership of Nadia, our president, and her team of officials. As the co-chairman of Health and Hygiene, here I am presenting my daughter. She is Dr. Nivedita Misra, MD in Medicine. She is the senior consultant at Tata Main Hospital. They have a 500-bedded COVID hospital. Today our topic is recent guidelines for home isolation of COVID patients with mild and asymptomatic symptoms. As there is scarcity of beds in the hospital, first we have to take into consideration, should we go to the hospital or should we wait for 2-3 days and see the situation. Thank you, everybody.
In the wake of the current COVID-19 pandemic, I thought that it is proper to share with you all the current guidelines which the Government of India has released a few days back regarding the management of mild cases and asymptomatic cases who are under home isolation. So as per definition, asymptomatic cases are those who do not have any significant symptoms but they have been diagnosed with COVID-19 by RT-PCR or RAT test. And mild cases include those who have only upper respiratory symptoms like cough, cold and fever, and who do not have any breathing difficulty and their oxygen saturation in room air is more than 94%. Those are known as mild cases. So a doctor has to certify that the patients are stable enough to undergo home isolation, and they should be having the proper isolation facility at their home so that a separate room and washroom can be dedicated to them, and a caregiver should be available at their place who can take care of them 24 hours, and the caregiver has to be in communication with the medical personnel so that in case of any trouble he can contact him. And patients who are elderly and who have hypertension, diabetes or ischemic heart disease or chronic lungs or liver or kidney ailments, they have to be certified by a proper doctor so that whether they are eligible for home isolation or not. And patients who are immunocompromised like transplant patients or people who are under chemotherapy, their immunity is suppressed, so they are not advised home isolation. So the instructions for the patient are that the patient should isolate themselves in their corresponding rooms, and the room has to be well ventilated. The patient should at all times use a triple layer medical mask, and every 8 hours they should change the mask, or otherwise if it gets wet or soiled then also they have to change. And whenever the caregiver enters the room, both of them should ideally be wearing a N95 mask which will prevent the cross transmission. The mask should be discarded after disinfecting with 1% sodium hypochlorite solution. Sufficient fluids and food and proper rest is important for the patient. Respiratory etiquette has to be maintained regarding cough and sneeze. The patient should be using soap and water hand wash at least for 40 seconds many times in the day, which will prevent transmission of infection. The personal items of the patient should not be shared, and the surfaces which are frequently touched like tabletops or door knobs, they have to be cleaned with 1% sodium hypochlorite solution. and the patient should maintain a chart which includes his temperature, his pulse rate, his oxygen saturation, his general well-being, and also his whether there is any breathing problem or not. This has to be maintained with date and time. And for the caregivers, instruction is given that they should also wear a triple layer medical mask, and the front portion of the mask should not be touched because that is the most infected portion. It has to be handled from the strings which are used to attach the mask to the face, and the mask should be discarded properly after disinfecting, and the person should avoid touching their face, nose and mouth. And hand hygiene should be properly followed before helping the patient, and after helping the patient hands should be washed with soap and water for at least 40 seconds, or they are not visibly soiled, then it can be they can use alcohol based hand rub or hand sanitizer. Then the caregiver should avoid direct exposure to the patient's body secretions like cough or sneeze, and they should use disposable gloves while handling the patient, and after helping the patient they should do proper hand hygiene, and if the gloves are worn, then that gloves have to be discarded. And whatever biomedical waste comes out from the patient's room, like the mask and the disposable items and food items, they have to be discarded with proper disinfection. So regarding the treatment part, the patient should be, or the caregiver should be, in communication with a treating physician, and they should report any deterioration in his condition. And regarding the previous illnesses, whatever medicines they are taking, they should consult their physician and continue taking those medicines. And symptomatic drugs like paracetamol 650 mg can be taken a maximum 4 times a day for fever, and other cough and cold medicines can be taken for running nose and cough, and warm gargle and steam inhalation may be used twice a day. And if the fever does not subside with paracetamol, then they have advised to go for little higher, stronger anti-inflammatory drugs like naproxen, etc. And tablet ivermectin has been advised to use for 3 to 5 days in mild cases, 12 mg to 15 mg as per body weight. And budesonide inhaler has also been advised in the new guidelines, where when the fever and cough are persisting beyond 5 days after the onset of the symptoms, then budesonide inhaler can be used 800 micrograms puffs twice daily for around a week, 5 to 7 days. And antiviral treatment should not be started without consulting doctor, and intravenous or injectable treatment should not be taken at home. And in the recent guidelines, they have gone to add that a short course of oral steroids can be given after consulting the treating doctor if the fever and coughs persists beyond 7 days, that is in the second week of the symptoms. Whenever there is a dip in the oxygen saturation of the patient below 94% on room air, they should be advised hospitalization. So what are the conditions when one should stop isolation at home and go to the hospital? One is any difficulty in breathing, or even if the saturation is less than 94 without any symptom, whenever there is a persistent pain or pressure in the chest, whenever there is any sign of mental confusion or inability to properly speak. And otherwise, patients who are asymptomatic or mildly symptomatic, after a period of either a period of 10 days from the beginning of the symptom, or after there is no fever for 3 days, they can end their period of home isolation. And the state and district health authorities have also been advised to continue monitoring the patients who are on home isolation, whether they are obeying the protocol or they are violating it, and also to help the patient in case of need. So this is a recent published guideline, so I hope all of you can take care of yourself and stay safe. Thank you.
Dr. Nivedita Mishra, for your very useful and elaborate message that you have given. You have explained to us the guidelines for staying at home isolation for the mild COVID cases as well as asymptomatic patients. It was really very helpful and interesting. And I'm sure we all can use these tips in our own family, as well as we can share it with some other people who are vulnerable. And at the same time, I am thankful to Mrs. Jyoti Mishra, Chairman of Health and Hygiene Committee in Nervil Club of Bhubaneswar, for this beautiful effort. It was really a great initiative of yours that you could prepare this video. Thank you very much, ma'am. And this message is not only for the members of Nervil Club of Bhubaneswar, but it is also for the whole society at large. Please share this video with everyone and make sure that the people at your contacts should remember that they should maintain social distancing. They should keep on sanitizing their hands and their homes. As well, they should wear masks at all times. And I'm very hopeful that you all have gone for your vaccination. That is also a very great prevention for further spread of COVID-19. Stay home, stay safe, and take care of yourself. Looking forward for the day that once again we get back to meet each other physically and enjoy socializing with each other and enjoy our fellowship, friendship, and projects together. Thank you.